Ancient Greek philosophy, a cornerstone of Western thought, is the bedrock upon which much of Western psychological and philosophical discourse is built. These philosophies emerged during a period of profound intellectual exploration and are characterized by the works of iconic figures such as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Their inquiries into ethics, logic, metaphysics, and epistemology laid the groundwork for subsequent philosophies and sciences. The legacy of ancient Greek philosophy is not merely academic, but deeply woven into the fabric of Western culture, influencing everything from the structure of governments to personal belief systems. The significance of introducing ancient Greek philosophy in a discussion about its haunting presence in the Western psyche lies in understanding how its concepts continue to inform modern thought. For example, Socratic questioning fosters critical thinking, a method widely employed in today's educational systems to encourage deep analysis and reflection. Similarly, Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics outlines a framework for personal virtue and moral responsibility that underpins modern philosophical ethics and psychological understandings of human behavior. Two notable real-world applications underscore this legacy. First, the concept of Platonic ideals, which posits the existence of perfect forms or ideas, has influenced religious and metaphysical beliefs. It permeates Christian theology, evident in the idea of a perfect heaven and the pursuit of moral ideals. Second, Aristotle's contributions to logic continue to form the basis of scientific inquiry and reasoning methodologies. His syllogistic logic transformed into the binary logic that powers computer systems today, showing a direct lineage from ancient thought to modern technology. However, this reverence for ancient philosophies isn't without its controversies. Some modern scholars argue that the overemphasis on Greek philosophy might overshadow other philosophical traditions such as Eastern or African thought, which also offer profound insights. Moreover, interpretations of Greek philosophy can vary significantly, sometimes leading to conflicting perspectives on their application to contemporary issues. In sum, the introduction to ancient Greek philosophy provides essential context for understanding its pervasive influence on Western thought. It acts as a connecting thread that links various aspects of Western culture, from ethical doctrines to scientific methodologies, thus underscoring the ghost-like presence of these ancient ideas in shaping modern psychological and philosophical landscapes. As we navigate these conceptual legacies, acknowledging alternative viewpoints ensures a more comprehensive understanding of global thought and underscores the need for a more inclusive philosophical discourse. The influence of ancient Greek philosophy on the modern Western psyche is a profound and intricate subject, particularly in how philosophical ghosts of the past continue to permeate our thoughts and beliefs. Ancient Greek philosophy introduced critical concepts like rationalism, ethics, metaphysics, and aesthetics, shaping fundamental aspects of Western thought. The significance lies in how these ideas laid the groundwork for the development of science, politics, and morality, effectively becoming invisible forces, ghosts, that guide modern Western culture and intellectual inquiry. One pivotal example is the concept of rationalism, championed by philosophers such as Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle. Their emphasis on reason and logic as the primary sources of knowledge profoundly influenced Western intellectual traditions, leading to the Enlightenment and the development of scientific methods. This rationalist legacy is evident in today's emphasis on reason in fields such as law, education, and public policy. Another example is the ethical frameworks introduced by Aristotle, especially virtue ethics, which continue to inform contemporary moral philosophy. By focusing on character and the cultivation of virtues, Aristotle's ideas provide a counterpoint to utilitarian and deontological ethics, offering a holistic approach to moral decision-making that resonates in discussions on personal development and leadership. Scholars and philosophers widely support the idea of Greek thought's enduring impact, often referring to the works of Nietzsche, Heidegger, and modern thinkers, who acknowledge the Greeks as pivotal architects of Western intellectual foundations. However, there are challenges and controversies associated with this pervasive influence. Some critics argue that an overemphasis on Greek philosophy may overshadow non-Western philosophies, contributing to a Eurocentric bias. Others point to the limitations of Greek ideas in addressing contemporary issues, calling for an integration of diverse philosophical perspectives to create more inclusive frameworks. The connection between these ancient ideas and the larger topic of their influence involves recognizing how Greek thought acts as both a foundation and a catalyst for ongoing philosophical dialogue. This interplay between past and present enriches the Western psyche, providing a basis for continuity and evolution in intellectual pursuits. By exploring these philosophical ghosts, we gain insight into the complexities of modern Western thought and acknowledge the legacy of ancient wisdom as it echoes through time, continually shaping our understanding of the world and ourselves. The foundations of Western thought, Socratic, Platonic, and Aristotelian contributions form the bedrock of Western philosophy, profoundly influencing how we engage with concepts of reality, ethics, and knowledge. Socrates, through his dialectical method, emphasized the pursuit of truth and self-knowledge, advocating for an examined life. His legacy is the idea that questioning and dialogue can lead us to deeper understanding and moral clarity. Plato, a disciple of Socrates, introduced the theory of forms, suggesting that non-material abstract forms, rather than the material world, possess the highest and most fundamental kind of reality. This introduced a dualistic view of reality and inspired debates on the nature of ideals and the physical world. Aristotle, Plato's protege, moved towards empirical observation, laying the groundwork for the scientific method with his insistence on systematic studies and categorizing knowledge to understand the world. The significance of these contributions to the main topic, philosophical ghosts, ancient Greek thoughts in the Western psyche, is profound. These philosophers shaped the intellectual framework of Western thought, becoming intellectual spectres that continue to haunt and guide modern philosophical and scientific paradigms. One real-world application is seen in the Socratic method, which is used in education and legal practices worldwide to encourage critical thinking. For instance, law schools adopt this approach to teach students the skill of exploring complex legal issues through rigorous questioning. Platonic thought influences modern ethical theories and political ideals, such as the concept of justice, inspiring visions of utopia. Aristotelian contributions lay the groundwork for modern logic and science, with his work serving as the initial steps towards the development of biology and physics. Proponents of these philosophies praise their emphasis on the pursuit of truth and rational inquiry. However, challenges arise from alternative viewpoints. For instance, the skepticism of the material world in Platonic idealism is critiqued by materialists who prioritize empirical evidence over abstract reasoning. Furthermore, Aristotle's views on natural hierarchies have sparked debates on their implications in the justification of social hierarchies. These foundational philosophies interconnect with the broader topic by illustrating how ancient Greek thought endures within our belief systems, ethical standards, and educational practices. They are the philosophical ghosts that linger, reflecting on how we continue to grapple with fundamental questions about the nature of reality, truth, and the good life. Understanding their contributions allows for a deeper appreciation of the Western intellectual legacy and its persistent influence on contemporary discourse. In exploring the legacy of Platonic idealism in modern Western thought, we dive into how the abstract ideas proposed by Plato have permeated Western consciousness, particularly his theory of forms. This concept posits that our reality is a shadow of a higher truth or perfect forms that exist independently of human experience. In the realm of ideas, these forms are immutable and perfect, providing a universal standard against which perceivable reality is judged. This ancient Greek thought profoundly affects various domains today, from theology to mathematics to politics, embodying a crucial component of Western philosophy. Plato's idealism invites Western thinkers to reflect on the nature of reality and knowledge. It helps construct the philosophical framework that underpins Western culture's pursuit of truth and perfection, urging a deeper understanding of existence beyond mere physicality. In modern contexts, the impact of Platonic ideals is evident in concepts such as the pursuit of justice and moral perfection, where Platonic forms serve as timeless ideals that societies strive to approximate. One real-world application can be seen in the realm of education, where Platonic ideals inspire educators to nurture students not just towards practical knowledge, but towards the virtues of goodness and truth, regarded as higher learning. Another example is in architecture and art, where the principle of striving toward ideal forms manifests in the pursuit of aesthetic perfection, influencing styles that seek harmony and balance. Several scholars and philosophers advocate for the continued relevance of Plato's ideas. They argue that idealism fosters a culture of introspection and perfectionism, encouraging societies to aspire toward ideals that advance human understanding and ethics. However, challenges and controversies exist, particularly from empirical and materialist perspectives that emphasize observable phenomena over abstract ideals. Critics argue that Platonic thought sometimes disconnects from practical reality, guiding aspirations that are unachievable or irrelevant in the tangible world. Despite this, Platonic idealism remains a cornerstone in the architecture of Western philosophical thought, interfacing with other intellectual movements such as existentialism, which contrasts it by emphasizing individual experience and reality's fluidity. This interplay underscores its influence in Western philosophy's ongoing dialogue about the nature of existence, reality, and knowledge. By weaving Platonic idealism into the broader discussion of philosophical ghosts, we appreciate its enduring legacy in shaping Western thought processes, serving not only as a backdrop for philosophical inquiry, but also as a catalyst for exploring the tension between ideal forms and lived realities.